Republican group takes rare step of targeting GOP incumbent who voted to oust McCarthy. Washington AP. A political action committee that helps Republicans get elected to Congress is doing the unusual, spending more than $450,000 to defeat a GOP incumbent. That incumbent, conservative two-term Rep. Bob Good, RVA, voted to remove former Rep. Kevin McCarthy as House Speaker last fall. It's just the latest example of how money is flowing into races involving some of the 8 Republican lawmakers who voted along with Democrats to oust McCarthy. About $3.3 million has been spent on ads in the Virginia race going into Friday, according to the media tracking firm 8 Impact. The ad buy underscores the internal divisions that have cracked open in the Republican Party since McCarthy's ouster. The rancor has split the party on important House votes and spilled over into some of this year's primary elections, too. The latest round of ad buys was unveiled on Monday and comes from Defending Main Street, a super PAC affiliated with nearly 90 Republican lawmakers in the Republican Main Street Partnership. The group describes its members as conservative, governing Republicans. It's just the second time the group has worked to unseat a Republican incumbent. The first incumbent the group sought to unseat was then Rep. Steve King of Iowa in 2020. King was removed from his committee assignments after lamenting that white supremacy and white nationalism had become offensive terms. He ended up losing in the GOP primary. Now the group is focused on good. We spend 99% of our money protecting incumbents and adding more mainstream conservatives to the House, but this was a unique situation, said Sarah Chamberlain, the group's president and CEO. Good has pushed Republicans to seek deeper federal spending cuts, even if that means risking a government shutdown. He leads the most conservative members of the Republican Conference as chairman of the House Freedom Caucus and has opposed the spending agreement McCarthy worked out with President Joe Biden so the government could continue paying his bills. When Speaker Mike Johnson split up a $95 billion aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan into 3 separate votes, he voted no on each piece. Chamberlain said her group would have worked to defeat Good even if he had not voted to oust McCarthy because of his voting record. The ad purchased by the group doesn't mention Good, but features an endorsement from a former local sheriff for Good's opponent, State Senator John McGuire, a former Navy SEAL. Defending Kevin is not what Main Street does, though we 100% supported Kevin and are sorry that everything happened, Chamberlain said of McCarthy. Groups coming in to support McGuire don't make it a race about McCarthy, who recently himself called on his followers on X to contribute to the challenger's campaign, saying McGuire is ready to answer the call to serve our country again. Chip in $5 today. But Good supporters clearly do want to make McCarthy an issue. In a fundraising pitch, an election group that works to expand the House Freedom Caucus said that McCarthy and his establishment allies were dumping millions of dollars into the race to defeat Good. And Diana Shores, Good's campaign manager, said McCarthy is on his revenge tour, and he's targeting conservative leaders like Congressman Bob Good, who worked to oust him as Speaker for his poor leadership.